Mark, and get your share. Good, everyone else should as well. I'm sure Leila will talk about that. Thank you all so much. Thank you to NCCJ. Thank you, Mark, for this nomination. I'm humbled to be here with this inspiring group. And I've been thinking a lot about what it means to be an emerging leader. What does it mean to be emerging at this moment in time in our history, in our nation's history? And I feel like every time I sign into Facebook or I turn on the radio, I'm hearing about another atrocity, another warning sign that our country is falling into fascism. I am reminded that the world my generation is inheriting will be uninhabitable for millions of people by the time I'm 50. And I'm scared. I'm really scared. And as I try to process the devastating events from just this past weekend, I keep returning to the words of Martin Luther King Jr. In his eulogy for the 4 young girls that were murdered in the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing, Dr. King said, "We must be concerned not merely about who murdered them, but about the system, the way of life, the philosophy which produced their murders." Now is not the time to agree to disagree. Now is the time to have tough conversations with our colleagues, with our neighbors, and with our loved ones. Now is not the time to meet in the middle. Now is the time to fight against injustices, even when we have something to lose, even when it's hard, even when we don't want to. This fight's not just at the ballot box. It's in our HR departments, it's in our procurement offices, and it's at our dining room tables. In his letter from a Birmingham jail, Dr. King said, "We who engage in non-direct violent action are not the creators of tension. We merely bring to the surface the hidden tension that is already alive. We bring it out into the open, where it can be seen and dealt with. Like a boil that cannot be cured so long as it is covered up, but must be opened with all its ugliness to the natural medicines of air and light. Injustices must be exposed with all the tension exposure creates." Our nation's boil is exposed. We can no longer ignore the injustices that exist in our communities and communities like it across the country. It is our responsibility to acknowledge what is happening on our borders and in our classrooms. It is our responsibility to take ownership of the legacy of racist and oppressive structures that we've designed that have created and perpetuated racial wealth gaps, that have concentrated poverty in communities of color across the country. We must accept culpability in creating and perpetuating a society that emboldened Robert Bowers to massacre 11 people in their place of worship. Despite these dark times, I find respite in knowing that we designed this world, we've built these structures, and we can do something different. So I'm humbled to be here with you all and to build something different. Thank you.
Presenting the Humanitarian Leaders Award is Dr. Larry Burnley, University of Dayton's Vice President for